Good morning, everybody. And I hope there aren't too many sore heads from those who attended the gala dinner last night. And I hope that many of you... Did anybody attend it? Brilliant. And you've managed to make it here this morning. A little bit of introduction from myself. I am, as you will see from your programme notes, my name's Tony McIntyre. I have come up through the party from the very grassroots. I joined in 2007. I then became chairman of my local branch, Tiverton and Hounston. I then became secretary of the South West and moved on to become chairman of the South West counties. I've also stood for election 3 times, once for Taunton Deane and twice for Torquay. The first time, 2.5% of the vote. The second time, 13.5% of the vote. And the third time, we won't talk about. I have never belonged to any other political party. I joined in 2007, and this is my sole political party. And what I want to talk to you today about is what I've been talking with a number of other people throughout the South West about what we mean by vision and tactics. Now, the party's vision for 20 years under the excellent and charismatic leadership of Nigel Farage was very simple, and that was that we wanted, as a party, to have a referendum. Via the tactics employed, we were able to achieve that objective. What tactics? Well, at first, it was going out and putting together street stalls, doing what UKIP has always been excellent at, which is campaigning. Going around at grass level, talking to people, meeting people in the street. At first, we were looked upon with disdain. At first, we arrived in meetings. If you had any speakers, and I did a few speaking engagements, there might be 10 people there. Some of them turned their backs. Gradually, the scenario changed. We got more and more support. But we then moved to become a political party. It was the only way to get influence around the country. That influence meant that we had to stand candidates in local elections, as MEPs, in national elections, county elections, every conceivable election that there was going, we should stand a candidate. That was the mantra at the time. Why? Because the more seats we won, the more council elections that we won, the more pressure we put on the other parties involved. That led, due process, to making sure that everybody was aware of UKIP. Everybody was aware of the colours. You could walk down the street, and if you mentioned, yeah, well, what's UKIP? Who's UKIP's leader today? Oh, that's Nigel Farage, isn't it? You know, we got the brand, as Steve Crowther talked yesterday, we got the brand name out. And that was vitally important. David Cameron, was put in a position where he had to say that in order to win the election in 2015, he was going to hold a referendum. Thank you very much, David. Never, never. Probably the best decision of his life, although he probably doesn't think that at the moment. Never in his wildest dreams did he believe that he would lose it. And it is thanks to all of you here, all the other 35,000 members of UKIP who went out and campaigned with your friends. You educated people, street stalls, etc., that we won that campaign, that we won that referendum. And that is vitally important because we now know what UKIP is good at, what tactics we should employ, where we are going. Now we've got to look to the future. We've got a new leader, Henry Bolton. He has been out at the front of the Riviera Centre this morning, and he's been interviewed by the press. They've even taken him down to the beach. I did ask whether they had asked him to do a similar stunt to one of his predecessors, who I understand went for a little bit of skinny dipping. But no doubt he didn't with the cameras being there. But he will be speaking to you later. And I'm hoping that he will give you a vision of what the future holds. I want to spend a little bit of time just looking at the political landscape of today. We've got two main parties, Labour and Conservatives. The Conservatives, in my opinion, and I hope you will agree with me, have moved further and further to the right. They have gone back to their core conservative values, which is looking after those individuals in the party, big businesses, all the elements of society which will gain wealth. Other side, we've got the Labour. Labour have gone further left. Labour have actually said, well, they want to nationalise virtually everything. Look at the recent announcement on PFIs, buying back the PFIs, education bill, all of these issues. They've gone further left. What did we do in the 2017 election? We produced what I thought was an excellent manifesto. I hope most of you have managed to read it. You might well have only read the pieces that you were interested in. I certainly was. I certainly did. Those that interested me were housing, because I suddenly got a call from Steve Crowder to say, would I be available for a TV interview on the subject of housing? And by the way, have you read the policy? No, you better read it fast. So I read it. I thought it was excellent. In fact, I was 5 minutes late for the interview because I was reading the damn thing. Education, because I've been in education all my life, and I'm particularly interested in the mixture between grammar schools and technical colleges and technical schools, and which should be held in ascendancy. We have an excellent speaker in David Curtin on education, and somebody who I support wholeheartedly. Now, this document here was costed. It made sense. And this was another of our tactics. Now, Steve, bless him, went through a series of tactics yesterday. Loyalty, nationality, all of the issues that he raised, and I'm not going to repeat them. But they were, again, tactics. What is our vision? Well, I hope, and talking with a few others, you might agree, that our vision is to fill the void in the centre that is between left and right, where the Mr. Normal, Mr. Average, Mr. Common Sense, man, woman, youngster is. That is a huge void, a huge opportunity. And if we want to make an impact as a political party, we need to fill that void. And we need to go out and we need to get the votes. We need to get people elected. We need to stand candidates. It is vitally important that if we want to move forward, take the next step on. And, I'll be the first to admit we've taken a step back since 2016. But we need to move forward. We need that vision. That vision in place, then we can put on, we've got all the tactics in place. You've all heard them, all of you who were here yesterday. They're all there. Now, pardon me. Now, when we look at the whole country, we see divisions. We see a national parliament up in Scotland. We see a national parliament over in Wales. We see the UK Parliament sitting as it is in Westminster. We see the Westminster bubble. All of these seem to me to be operating on a local level to them. I think that the most important element that we should be promoting is local government taking into consideration the concerns of the local people. If we can actually take that as our mantra out, we are then purporting to represent local people at all levels of government. Finally, I will leave with you a thought. Conservatives, blue. Labour, red. Now, if you take a palette and you mix those two colours together, you do not get yellow. Not a hope. You don't even get green. And I'm afraid that I've opted out of the Green Party because I couldn't afford the sandals. What you get is purple. Let us be proud of this colour, and let us wear it with pride, and let us go out there as ordinary members to promote our party throughout the country. Thank you very much.